Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad you came back for another video. I'm going to bring you an A-lister series. We're going to talk a lot about promoting and selling your items, selling your jewelry especially, because that is what seems to be becoming a problem for those of us who love to thrift and love to shop. So hoping that you enjoy the video. It won't be very long because, as I said before, time is of the essence. I'll come part to you in the video itself. So let me open up the chat, see if anybody's going to join me today. Again, I really appreciate you being here. Let me grab a quick drink. Okay. All right, I wanted to be sure and mute that other video. It looks like a few people have joined us here. Anita's here. Picky Chick, Jennifer, Honestly Ophelia Vintage. I hope you got the package. Or Honestly Ophelia Vintage. I'm not sure if that's your name. Let me know what your name is. I'd like to refer to you as your name and not just your hand. All right, so I'm hoping that you enjoy the series, guys. I'm going to continually talk about 4 tenets of selling. I don't know if I've shared with you guys, but I have been a salesperson probably since I was in high school. One of the very first jobs I ever got was at the House of Jeans. That was my very first job. I sold jeans. And then I sold men's clothing, men's furnishings, as they called it back then. Hey, Hip Flippin' Mama, how are you? So, and then I had a fabulous job at what later became Macy's, and that was selling shoes. And I would kill it. Literally kill it in commissions selling shoes. I love selling shoes. It was a wonderful, wonderful experience for me as a very young salesman. And I learned many things through that, as well as the fact that I did major in psychology. So I know a lot about how we fall into a sales mode. And actually I experienced that. Let me just give you a quick little story. Hi, Guillermo. I went to the dermatologist the other day because I noticed a little spot on my arm. And the paranoid person that I am, I wanted to get it checked out. So she checked it out. She gave me some cream. She said, if it goes away in 2 weeks, don't come back. So it went away. But before she did that, she was open. She was loud. She was telling me this and the other. She was complimenting me on this. She was saying I had beautiful olive skin. And then she said that she could do something for some of the spotting that I have on my face, sunspots and all of that. I do love the sun. I've always been a sun worshiper. So there was just something about her way, right? First of all, the compliments, immediately something positive. You always start with 2 positives if you can. You can think about that in your listings as well. You start with 2 positives and you make the sale. You really do, because that's like an entree into the sale, into the good thing. That's one of the tenets, is to always start with a positive. I don't know about you guys, but when I walk into a store, they can have the prettiest clothes you've ever seen, especially the little small independent stores at the mall. But if they have a blazing sign that says no returns or exchanges only or 15-day policy, I'm out. I'm just out. To me, that's a negative and a negative. And I don't even want to see your items, because I feel as if you don't have enough confidence in your items to allow a return policy, I'm not going any further. So that's one thing. So anyway, she sold me some creams and I bought them, and no, it was just like, here they are. This is what you can do. The girl started telling me how to do so forth and so on. I went in for the thing. The thing is gone. The thing is gone off my hand. A little freckle thing. I was really worried about it. We'll hope and see if the miracle creates some of my dark spots on my and so forth. So we'll see. But that's just one of the things I'm trying to tell you, is how easily someone can make, when they've got the right product, they've got the right tune, and it's just a positive and a positive and a positive, and bingo, sold it. So I was going to tell you about the bracelet I sold, because again, the 4 tenets of selling is product. Here's a product, price, promotion, and placement. Now this product, I didn't even bother to research it because I've seen it around. It is a James Avery, already a plus. James Avery's a plus, no matter where, no matter how. If you have something James Avery, even if it's a plain little chain, you know you're going to sell it. So it's a little butterfly bangle that I bought for, I believe, $35 on Mercar, and it sold for about $65. It sold immediately. Within 8 hours after listing, it sold. Surprisingly, I thought it was going to sell on Mercar, because Mercar is definitely a mecca for James Avery. But it sold on Poshmark, and actually it sold twice. Overnight, someone bought it, then canceled. Then someone else bought it, and so far I'm shipping it no problem. But that was what I think are your major tenets. There is your 4 things. You got a great product. It sells itself. But the price was right as well, because most of these are selling, I would say, about $75, $80. I looked out and bought it at Mercari, but I hunted for it. But a lot of people really want to get $80 for it because they sell for about $125 retail, brand new. I'm not even sure if this is retired, so I don't believe it is, because I have seen it around, and it's not one of the ones that were, if it was, it would be priced more like in the $200 range. Then the placement. Where did I put it? Put it on 2 venues. Then finally, the promotion. I will get to the promotion part when I talk to you. Well, let me tell you how I did this one. This one is on Poshmark. There's a thing called promotion. That is the sharing part, right? And a lot of people complain about it. I have a whole video on Poshmark, so I will definitely link that so you can see it. And I really get into Poshmark. But it's not just about the sharing there, because I was definitely one that scoffed at the sharing. I didn't like to share. I thought it was a waste of time. I've been selling on Posh since they opened. I think they've already been on 10 years. Been selling on there for a long time. And for many years, I didn't share. I'd share once in a while. I didn't consider it mandatory, and it's still not. And I would still sell. I'd sell 2 or 3 things out of the month. Again, this is my part-time position. I do not stay home all day and have the luxury of listing. So I would definitely do well, but I could have done better. When I started listing, I did a lot better. I really did, because I became Poshmark ambassador and did all that good stuff that you're talking about. But there's a thing called the bomb share. And I did this with a $600 Chanel that I sold for my sister. It's a wallet. I think I had it for $650. I listed it for $650, new in a box. Gorgeous little utility wallet. And I shared it constantly. What I mean by a bomb share is that I shared it at least 10 times every. It was shared a lister, shared a lister, shared a lister, shared a listers. If I had the luxury of going to the luxury parties, share once at the party, and then share to followers, share to followers, at least 10 times, sometimes 20 in a row. Because people are going to your Poshmark, they're not seeing 10 times in a row. There's several people coming in at several times throughout the day, and they're seeing it, and they're sharing well. Well, that wallet sold in a week. And how I did it is that from the likers, I got so many likes because I had so many shares, and I had so many people sharing it farther and farther, or further and further and further. So I finally accumulated over 20 likes. I never do the very advantageous that you should do, which is to offer to your likers only. Don't do a public sale. Some people do, and that's up to you. But in something that high priced, I really don't want to go public with it, because then if it doesn't sell, a lot of people are going to think, well, you had it for this price or that price. So then I did a offer to likers only, and I sold it for $549, $100 off. And someone took me up on it and paid the $549, loved it, left a fabulous feedback for me. So those are your two ways you can do it. Promotion, this is the kind of promotion I'm talking about in today's age, right? Is to share on Poshmark, do your bomb shares. Again, I do it with anything new. I just put I put that really pretty, what was it, amber. I put that up. I put it really high. It's a very, very high priced item. I don't think I'll get that price, but it's a way for me to get it out there, get excited about it, get other people excited, get people thinking, wow, it must be really rare. And it is very rare in mid-century. And that way people will like it, people will share it. And then eventually when I get so many likes, then I'll hit them with that offer to likers only. And the same thing with this, I bomb shared it. I bomb shared it as soon as I put it up. But again, it sold actually it was less than 8 hours. I already had the 3 tenets. I had product, wonderful James Avery product. Okay, I had a good price, nice competitive price. I had good placement. I had it in 2 venues. I had it in Mercar. I didn't even get to eBay. I was going to get to eBay the next day. I had it in Mercar and Poshmark. And then I bomb shared on Poshmark. Every time I shared it, well, that night I listed in one night. But that night I listed it like 20 times. I didn't even have to do an offer to likers, but that was going to be my next step, was to offer it to likers. Let me take a quick look at chat while I take a drink and catch my breath, because I'm really trying to make this a concise video, guys. I don't want to keep you here all day. So let me see. We have Lavender Watkins, Norma, Godsell, how are you? Thelma Cable, Picky Chick, Uniquely Me, how are you? Thanks so much for being here, guys. I really, really appreciate it. Anita's here as well. Darlene Buckland. So that is what we mean by promotion today. All right. Before, placement used to be top shelf, mid shelf, bottom shelf. You go to the grocery, right? You have your top shelf. That's where all the nutritional stuff is, and nobody wants to go and reach all the way up there to get those really fortified Cheerios. The midpoint is right at eye level, right, where everybody has access to see it really well. Bottom shelf is where you don't care if your Cheerios are in a bag or a box, you just want your cereal. But today, it means being open to other platforms. It really, really does. You must go there. You must go to Posh. You must go to eBay. I would say eBay, I would have to say it's my mid shelf. It's where I have to throw everything in there. If I don't have a fancy Chanel wallet to sell, as I knew it would do well in Posh, because people are looking for that on Posh, and all of that, then I would go and just leave it on eBay or Etsy and so forth. So that's kind of the thing that we're always going to touch on this series, guys. I'm always going to tell you about the 4 tenets of marketing and sales. I will come back. I will reiterate. I will talk about other things. I will delve deeper. Each of these venues have their own little quirks and their own little advantages. So, for example, like the Chanel wallet, Posh, because of that, because they do have a big drawing for high items. It doesn't mean you can't sell your $2 jewelry, which I'm selling $5 jewelry in there. But it's a great place to sell Dad's Rolex, okay? It's a great place if you got a Rolex, you've never worn it, you want it gone. Because one, they offer concierge service. And in that concierge service, you can, anything that's sold for over $500, and that's where my Chanel wallet went, it goes directly to Posh. Then from there, it's in their ball field. They're going to take care of it. They're going to authenticate it. They're going to insert a nice card. I have bought some items from that have gone through there, and they repackage it very nicely. They put a nice authentication card in there, and then you don't have to worry about the remorse, the remorseful buyer, the buyer's remorse, because it's not that easy to return things on Poshmark. You really have to have a good reason. It has to be not as described, but they've already said it's as described. Whereas, though I have sold expensive things on eBay, I always have that in the back of my mind. What if they don't like it? What they're going to say it's not real? I've had that happen, but I've had it not happen more often than it has happened. I've sold very expensive Louis Vuittons. I sold a Tiffany diamond necklace there. No problems on eBay. But that's one thing I do love and recommend about Posh. Mercari is another place that I really like a lot. It is a sales mecca. It's very low fees. It's only 10%. It is a little bit harder to list on there. Again, I want to recommend that you go mobile. If you have an iPhone or a modern telephone, hi, how are you, Granny Josie? Nice to see you here. This is the way to go, guys, because you always have your things at your beck and call. You have your photos there. And I did eBay over a dozen years ago when I had to plug in my camera. I had to reorient and what do you call it, crop every picture. Now the mobile apps are so friendly. They are unbelievable. That's why they work for me, because this is my second job. This is not something that I can sit at my desktop all day long and do. I go to the doctor appointment. I can be at the library. I can be waiting for my daughter, and I am listing 3 or 4 things because I have it mobile. eBay has just recently updated their mobile app. It is amazing. I am so pleased with it, because you now have everything a lot more streamlined. I think they really took a cue from Mercar and Posh, where you don't have to go in there and put every little detail about the sleeve length, or in this case, the jewelry. That you can. And I suggest that you do if you are doing something expensive and you don't want it to come back. Be sure and list it in your description and everything as concise but accurately as possible. Because again, in Mercar, you're limited in your title. So you're not going to be able to say mid double chain Monet, brush finish, so forth and so on. You can't put all of that on the title. You will have to put that in your description. eBay as well. eBay still has the nice friendly title. You can have a lot of words on there, but you only want to add the words that your buyer's going to look for. Your buyer's not going to put stunning statement piece when he's searching for it, or she's searching for it. She'll probably put green rhinestone necklace or something like that. That's what she wants for that evening, or red for Valentine's or whatever. So be sure and be conservative with that when you are on Mercar. eBay, you still have that luxury. I do love the new eBay app. It's fantastic. I suggest that you start with eBay. Those of you who are new to the selling game, start with eBay, but do not hesitate to use all four. If I were you, I would use all four. I would get in there, open all of your accounts. You don't have to have a store eBay. You don't have to, there's no big commitment. So use them all so that you know them and see which one is best for you. I had trouble with Etsy mobile app. And like I said, since I am mobile and that's what I do, I was kind of ignoring Etsy for a while. But then I thought, no, I have a lot of vintage items that are calling for Etsy. And when I started putting them, I put those Christmas brooches. I've listed like 15 in one night. I sold like 3 on there. And then I sold more on Mercar and some on eBay. And they just kept selling because I got into the flow. I got into a flow of listing. I put them on all 3 venues and they sold. So be sure and try them all before you decide. But don't say, oh, I tried and I can't do it and I don't have time. How many hours are we spending in front of this screen? Either on Facebook, checking to see who's got a new boyfriend, who got married again, how many grandchildren does she have now, what car did she buy now? Or, time is so wasted in front of a screen when you using it for something that's going to make your pocketbook nice and healthy. Really, it is. You can limit your time. You can limit your time and then give yourself a good month to learn all of these apps and then decide which one's for me. Which one do I really like? Which one am I doing well at? But you cannot do it unless it's organic. You cannot say, I'm on this one because this is the best one for me, until you've tried them all and until you decide, hey, I can handle them all. I've handled them all. I sell on all 4. I have made a mistake. I've accidentally put a label on someone else's package. I have sold things twice. Nobody shot me. I'm still here. It was not a big major mistake. Things happen. Of course, I've been selling on eBay for over a dozen years. I kind of know that they're not going to shut my my store down for a mistake. A lot of people get paranoid about that. Oh, what's going to happen if this? Nothing's going to happen. We all make mistakes and we learn from them. But again, I just urge you to try all 4 and take your time with it. Scientists say that we are prone to read our websites in an L shape. And even on the phone, you read it in an L shape and you'll miss the whole center. And then you'll be like, oh, how come I can't put the free shipping? What do you mean I got to pay an extra $5 because they're going to buy my label? That's the thing. You have to practice. No one gets perfect without practice. You have to practice each website, each mobile app. See which one you like. You will. Because they all have their own quirks. But I suggest, if you're new, I suggest you go to eBay first. You don't have to do what I do and go mobile. If you know what you're doing, you know how to do it that way. I'm not sitting here acting like the smartest person in the room, because I'm not, and I learn from you every single day. I'm telling you what I've done to gain status as a power seller on eBay for over a dozen years. This is something that I did as a hobby. This is something that I did as an income. This is something that I still do as an income. Every single year, I go back to eBay. I've tried to pop Depop. I've tried Vented. I've tried them all because I want to be out there. I want my item to be out there. I want the placement of my item. I want it to sell. Speaking of just starting, guys, I wanted to show you. I don't know if you guys were at the auction last night, but they auctioned off a beautiful Peter Max scarf, which I think someone was saying they sell for about $500. And I have a couple, and here's one that my daughter let me have back so I can wash it because she lives in it. But isn't it gorgeous? I just love it. Silk scarf. This sold for over $100 last night, but I wanted to bring it out because this is the very first item that I sold on eBay. Not a scarf, but a Peter Max clock, an electric clock. Absolutely gorgeous. Picked it up at a thrift store years ago. And 12 years ago, I was seeing people sell on eBay. And I was like, oh, I got so much stuff. I'm such a hoarder, always been a collector, live at the flea markets. It's what I love. It's what I do, but I need to do something. I think I could sell that Peter Max clock. Well, I asked my son, who was still home at the time. He was in high school or so. And of course, you know, the young know how to operate a computer as soon as they're able to talk, pretty much. So I asked him, can you show me how to do eBay? Because I really want to do it, and I think I just have to upload my photos. And the best thing he could have ever done for me was to tell me, Mom, I'm not going to show you because I think you'll learn more if you do it yourself. And that's what I did. And that's when I still had to plug in the camera, the SLR camera, upload photos, you look for cords and so forth and so on. And I learned it, and I sold that Peter Max clock. And as I said, the rest is history. This has been my supplemental income since then for 12 years. Then I started just selling left and right, picking up jewelry that I hadn't worn in years, putting it out there to sell it. Then I got so good at it that I started sourcing. I started going to thrift stores to buy, to resell. It was not what I did in the beginning because I already had a hoard, and I still have a hoard. But I just wanted to compart to you about that story because there is no way that you can keep with the excuses. I'm not tech savvy. My lighting is horrible. It's too cold. It's too hot, because I've done that. I know what that is. And it's just something we cannot continue to do. If we really, really want to sell, we will teach ourselves to do it. We will teach ourselves to do it. It's not hard. We will practice. We will make mistakes. We will try all of the apps that are available for us. If you have a smartphone, you are on the gateway to a good income, a supplemental income, and a very, 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 very lucrative hobby. If it's not going to be your full income, like it isn't for me, but it's always been a big part. Believe me, I don't know what I would do. Probably go back to flea markets and garage sales, which is what I used to do. And I have some videos on that too. So believe me, I know what it's like to try to clear things out. I head to the flea market. I clear things out that way. But we're sitting on really, really good items. And we just need to put them out there. And we need to practice and promote. This is a wonderful card that I got from someone when I bought something on Mercar. Beautiful card. And it says, follow us on Poshmark, Mercar, and Facebook. And I thought that was really nice. I had to actually return the item. Actually, I gifted it to Ophelia out there because it was not sterling as described. But I also wanted to touch on Facebook. Again, I mentioned to you a minute ago, promotion. Yeah, we love our Facebook, and we have it for all kinds of jewelry groups and all of that. And we learn from each other. And I love Granny Josie's shop out there. I've bought things there. I have not listed there yet, but I have bought things from her. But I've sold things just from sharing. I don't share everything because my Facebook, not my Facebook page, but my other one, my personal one, is personal. And I put kids, pictures of the grandkids and that kind of thing. Once in a while, I'll throw a link in there from, let's say, Poshmark, because all of those little links are on your listing itself. All you have to do is click it and share. That's all you have to do. And I was selling a Louis Vuitton for, I think it was $800 because it was the big 52 carry-on. My best friend, well, not my best friend, but a very good friend that I've had since I've lived here, saw it because she follows me on Facebook. We really don't kind of, once in a while we like each other's photos and so on. She's got 3 daughters. One just went off to college. She said, I love that Louis Vuitton. She actually bought it from my Poshmark. And I said, oh my goodness, I wish you would have told me, we could have saved fees. But she was like, oh, okay, no, no problem. But next time. So then again, the next time I listed something, I shared it with her on Facebook, and she bought another Louis Vuitton for her daughter. So it does not hurt to share on your personal Facebook. Now, I'm not saying spam it every day, but if you've got something really special, why not share it? There's quite a few people out there that would like what you're selling. And I've had inquiries from girls that I used to work with at schools. They see my postings on Instagram. They see them on Pinterest, and they will call me and say, do you still have that? Can I buy it from you? Can you take it off of eBay? As long as it doesn't have a bid, if I happen to have it on auction, I don't see anything unethical about taking it off of there and selling it to my friend. And of course, we all save fees that way. So don't look as if you're imposing on someone. You are there to self-promote. You have got to self-promote yourself. Instagram, Pinterest, do your Pinterest boards. I'm not saying go in there, because I have an Etsy Excellence board. Then I have another little board called, I don't know if it's called Bejeweled or Jeweled, but I'll get other posts from other sites. I love Mexican jewelry, so I follow those. I repin those. I pin mine. I get a lot of likes. You can also put a live link there, and it lasts forever to go to your store at Etsy, to go to your eBay store. So don't hesitate to use those. We've talked about them before. Maybe you waned a little bit. I waned a little bit off my Pinterest. I started doing Instagram. Now I realize I still need to do both. They're still vital. They're still very, very much a part of the scene, a part of trying to get your stuff looked at. So use your Facebook for the good. Don't use it to go join these groups that like to rant and rave about everything that's wrong with America. We could sit there and argue all day long. You don't like my politics. I don't like yours. Where are we going to get? But let's sell each other some stuff. Let's make each other happy with some jewelry, right? Use it for other reasons, other purposes. It's not just there to join a group about ranting and raving. It's not. Back to the product, guys. I did want to show you before we sign off about Native American jewelry, because I was going to talk about that last time when I talked about myths and all of that. And I wanted to make sure that you guys know that there's a big difference between the tourist trade type of jewelry. And because I keep hearing people say, why isn't it Hallmark? Where's the Hallmark? Is there a Hallmark? Well, a lot of vintage Native American people are not hallmarked. And I bought this one at a Native American store over 40 years ago. And then you saw I hope you saw that video where I pulled out that other one that was gorgeous. I don't need a Hallmark to tell me this is genuine Native American and Hishi beads. And I will, if I ever sell it, which I won't. This is actually two necklaces. One has double strands and one is a single. If I ever decide to sell this, I will easily, without any doubt in my mind, tell you it's a Native American piece. And I will price it accordingly, because this is a good product. So the price will match. Definitely beautiful, beautiful turquoise. Yet someone will take something like this, which is probably mass produced in China. It is turquoise. It is liquid silver, but it's a cheap little hollowed out horse. And I'm not going to call this Native American. I may not even call this Southwest inspired. It is sterling. It's sterling and it's hallmarked and all that good stuff. But is it going to garner what my other liquid silver may garner? No. So know the differences. Don't just think, oh, it's liquid silver. Oh, it's got beads of turquoise. It's got to get good money. Here's another piece I've had in my collection for over 40 years. This is 25 strands. Unhallmarked. No need for a hallmark on this. Beautiful sterling silver, liquid silver. And I can without doubt list it as Native American without any qualms if I ever choose to sell this. But that's the only thing I want to leave you with too, guys, is know your products. Touch them when you see them. Go to places where they sell genuine Native American. There's a lot of antique stores and places like, not flea markets, but maybe the indoor flea markets and things. Well, they'll have stands of nice, authentic, vintage, because there's a lot of tourist trade jewelry that you don't need, you don't want. Here's another one. Just a simple liquid silver. It is genuine turquoise, but it's kind of the mass produced that came like during the late 80s or something. Another. Do I need a hallmark on these? No, I don't. I bought them at a Native American store 40 years ago or more. Coral, liquid silver. So just because somebody throws the word Native American at you or liquid silver does not mean it deserves top dollar. Again, here, Navajo piece. This is the one I showed you that my mother had bought me years ago. Bought it at the same store. She knew it was my favorite store. I pretty much spent all my paychecks there. Found this one in a jewelry jar. It's not as nice. Mass produced. Not as nice. Could be Native American. And I believe this one's actually Hallmark 925. But that's all I'm talking about there, is to know, you know, what you're looking at before you start thinking, oh, it's Native American, just because it says sterling silver. Another product, guys, remember last time I talked to you about knowing whether your designer is known for their jewelry or not? I got this. Thank you, Vanessa. I'm glad you're here. Appreciate it. Even though you have to leave, thank you for being here for a bit. This is a Rebecca Minkoff. Now, Rebecca is known for her handbags. I didn't even know she made jewelry, but she does. One of the chains is caught up here. And so I'll have to research it a bit. Hold on, guys. I got to pull them down to see if it garners as much interest in her jewelry that she does with her handbags. I didn't know it was a Rebecca Minkoff. It had a really nice little dangly dang thing on the back. But it is hallmarked in the back of the bar. It says Rebecca Minkoff back here. So that intrigued me. I only paid about $4 for it. I don't know price point here yet, because I don't know if she garners interest like maybe a Alexis Bitar or maybe a Kendra Scott, because she's not known for her jewelry, as far as I know. She's known for her handbags. She makes amazing handbags, designer bags, all leather, beautiful bags, very expensive. So I'll do that research. So don't always assume, we talked about this last time, don't always assume that because it's a designer name that you're going to get top dollar, because that designer could be known for other things that did not translate to their accessories or jewelry. So that's pretty much what I wanted to show you today. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them. I have had quite a few suggestions, and I'm going to take them up. One has been the going back to the words and listings. So we're going to talk about that, about what we put into a listing to intrigue someone, to bring someone in and make that sale the way that doctor did to me, because she's in a business. She's in a business. I didn't go in there for my face. I went in there for the little spot I had on my hand. But the way she spoke to me, the way she complimented me, the way she told me this and the other, and, you know, and she wasn't pushy. I don't want to say that. She wasn't pushy, but she really brought you in with the pluses and the tone of her voice. Of course, this is person to person, but you can convey a tone with your words. You can definitely convey a tone. You can convey a need. You can convey a kind of an aura of urgency when you list something. You really can. So we are going to go back to that. We're also going to talk about the properties of certain stones and that kind of thing. I'm not going to sit here and read you something from WikiLeaks, or what do you call it? Not WikiLeaks, Wikipedia or Google. That's boring. I don't want to do that. I want you to tell me, why is this your favorite stone? What intrigues you about amethyst? Why do you like calcite? Why do you like peridot and so forth? How do you like my peridot, guys? Is it turned over? I think it's so cute. I think I got this one on eBay. Don't remember now. It's a green cross with peridot. I am wearing my beautiful malachite that I'm intrigued by them because I feel they just have this energy about them. I love the color. All of that kind of stuff you could put in your listing. You can convey that sense of need and want, which is what selling is all about. Okay, now I think we talked about all of the venues except maybe Etsy. And really the only thing to know about Etsy, again, I can go into each one in detail, and I will, is that it isn't a Mecca. People do go there for that reason. So you do want to keep that in mind when you list with what you want to list, or handmade items, and make sure they're your handmade items. If you make jewelry, make sure it's your jewelry. Of course, a lot of people do not follow the honor system. A lot of people throw in grandma's crochet instead of their own and things like that. But that's what these platforms are founded on, the honor system. So we do want to do that with Etsy. Etsy has gotten a little bit easier to use as well on the mobile app. So I do love that. I immediately go to eBay and Etsy for anything vintage, because in the end, eBay has more eyes on it. eBay is worldwide, and it has a lot more users than Etsy. Etsy's a little bit cheaper in the fees and all of that, but you have to weigh all of that together and then decide where you want to be. If you want to be on all four, as I am, you can do it. It's not hard. All you have to do is practice. It really is an easy thing to learn. And so I will just leave you with that, guys. If you have any other questions, you can post them in the chat for a little bit, and then I will start thinking about next week's show, because I really just wanted to leave you today with the fact that you can do this. You can research all four platforms. You can decide which one you like. I urge you to go mobile. It's the easiest way to do it. You can always go back and forth. You can start on your desktop and then have your pictures on your mobile. If you still like to use a camera, that's fine too. But I'm just saying that in order to really utilize your time wisely, it's a wonderful, wonderful thing to carry it with you. Carry it with you. Don't get frazzled. Another thing that I wrote on here is a note, guys, about what I love about eBay and why I suggest you go there first. Why I suggest that this be your platform is because they answer the phone. They answer the phone with your questions. They're very nice. I don't know what you've heard from anybody else. A lot of people complain. They have accents. I can't hear them. I live in Houston. I hear accents all day long. I sometimes have trouble understanding accents too. I'll ask them to clarify. I'll ask them to tell me, please repeat that. Or is there anyone else available, because I'm having trouble understanding. I'm very kind. Because you're a lot farther that way. And they literally talked to me yesterday for probably 30 minutes because I could not figure out where the free shipping was on the new app. And she kept saying, well, you can go to the desktop and do it. I said, I don't want to go to the desktop. I'm listing today on my mobile. I have 10 things I want to list, and I want to know how to do free shipping, because I do free shipping. That's one of my positives, especially for jewelry. I mean, $3 or $4, I just kind of factor it in. So she said, okay, let me get you someone who can do the mobile app. We were looking at it together. Go to the right, go to the left, click here, click there. It's done. I've learned it. That's what I love about eBay. Everyone else depends on email. So if you have the patience to wait on email, you can. But this is why I suggest that you start with eBay. If you're a first-time reseller, go to eBay. That's the easiest way. They will answer your questions. They will go to your account. They will talk you through your questions. They do not rush you. They are so sweet. You almost want to invite them to Christmas dinner. I mean, they really are. That's the experience that I have had. So that's why I suggest that. eBay is very, very customer friendly to both of them. You're their customer too. I get so tired of hearing, oh, they favor the buyer. They favor the buyer. No, they favor the seller too, because without the seller, their profits are not there. They're non-existent. You have to have a seller. You have to have two people to make a transaction, don't you? You have to have a buyer and a seller. Otherwise, you have nothing. So they do take care of their buyers. And I strongly recommend you start with them. Don't stay there. Go ahead and try Etsy. Go ahead and try Mercar. Try Poshmark. Try them all, because they all have their own niche. They all have their own benefits. Some have a few differences in their fees. Some take PayPal, like eBay does, and I'm still with PayPal. Some link checking account, which again, some people don't like because you have to wait a couple of days to get paid and so forth and so on. We'll get into the intricacies of each of the apps later, each of the sites and the venues later. But In reality, guys, it's not anymore. Once you start selling consistently and you're shipping the item to a Poshmark seller, she gets it in 2 days. She has 3 days to approve it. Usually if it's a nice, honest sale and you didn't lie about anything and everything was good, she's anxious to get you your money. She'll click, release the money. You got your money. You sold something else, and it's becoming a pattern. Right now I have 2 or 3 things I've got a list to ship. I sold a little doll. I sold a computer, a small computer. And I sold 2 jewelry items, all on different venues, eBay, Poshmark, and then of course it's going out. I'm gonna do a little video about it, and then I'll put it in my Just Jewelry Just Sold video. But that's it. It's super, super easy. Get started, do it, practice, practice, practice. Make that phone call to eBay if you get stuck. They'll help you. They really will. And I'm going to let you go, guys, because, again, I wanted to convey to you, as always, your time is precious. So is mine. We can list. We can make money. We just have to do it. We just have to get started in doing it. And don't tell me you don't have time, because if you had time to spend 20 minutes with me, go do it now instead of going to another, place where you might waste time. And, I mean, that's the thing about it. You can go to watch TV, but if you take this with you, you're working at the same time. Multitask. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate Harley Graham, Guillermo, and everyone else that joined me. I hope you come back again. I will do a thrift haul. I may even do a live handbag haul tonight because I got some great bags I want to show you. And we can talk a little bit about that and why I picked those up.